start with you. You say you're only incrementally bullish on Nvidia after GTC. Tell us a little bit more about that viewpoint.
So there has been some worry that as we transition in AI from training large language models to inference, that Nvidia was going to be knocked off the pedestal. I actually think that even though it's inevitable for Nvidia to lose some share, the market is so large and it's growing so fast that this company will continue to do very well. And a lot of folks don't realize that it's not just the GPUs that Nvidia has locked up, but it's a much broader ecosystem. And so when I see this stock, even after GTC, with the announcement of over the next 2 fiscal years, potentially $1 trillion in orders, which for my models was up a couple of $100 billion before the conference. I think 170 to 175, where the stock is now, which is at the low end of its trading range ever since July of last year, is a hell of a buying opportunity.
Okay, so Brendan, I want to get your thoughts, your takeaways from GTC. As Paul just mentioned, the $1 trillion was a much talked about number, and it was at least $1 trillion through 2027. What are your takeaways from GTC?
My view, Diane, is that NVIDIA expanded its addressable market at the show and showed that it's getting ahead of bottlenecks in the ecosystem and emerging compute opportunities. So the introduction of the Grok 3 LPX system shows that NVIDIA was ready for the emerging inference economy that needs separate systems to output tokens from AI models, separate from what actually ingests the data to begin with. And that opens an opportunity where NVIDIA can continue to scale its volume production on different nodes, which makes the leading node no longer a bottleneck because it can produce these inference chips that go side by side. And at the same time, we got a view into the emerging compute paradigm of NeMo Claw, the use of agentic systems that are always on and have personal computers with everyone using a GPU at their desk to run models on an ongoing basis. These are growth factors that haven't been modeled in, and the show demonstrated that there's a larger market there that isn't simply working with hyperscalers to install GPUs.
Paul, I want to go back to you. Over the past 6 months, NVIDIA has gone a whole lot of nowhere. There have been some peaks, but those valleys have taken us back to around the same time we were 6 months ago. What is it going to take to get it out of this range that it's been in?
Excellent question. I think it's all about the macro. I don't think anyone can dispute NVIDIA's positioning, even in inference, and NVIDIA's execution, which is typically flawless. It's a macro call. When are we at peak AI infrastructure spending? Will the folks that are spending all this money on that, will they ever get a return on their big investments? So I think it's more of a macro rather than anything micro, really rather than anything that Jensen Huang, even in his narrative that he spins, can even control. And so they'll have to continue executing. And as we start to get into late 26, as we approach 27, and people see that there's not going to be a dramatic slowdown in this spending, which is my view, then I'll say, oh, okay, let's start to re-rate that stock again and drive it up.
Yeah, it's so interesting that, myself, traders, strategists I talk to, it's been a head scratcher, right? Because, one of my colleagues made the analogy that it's like the star student, that you're just used to them turning in A's and you're kind of like, yeah, another A, and you're used to it. Brendan, I want to go back to you with your thoughts on, there was talk obviously about the space race as well with NVIDIA. Is that the next frontier?
Space is coming for AI, and it's a strategic area that NVIDIA has started working on, hiring engineers and partnering with emerging satellite companies such as StarCloud to push GPUs closer to the final frontier of space. And I think that just shows that NVIDIA consistently gets ahead of bottlenecks like energy and construction. The launch of the DSX reference architecture for data centers shows that NVIDIA is thinking bigger than simply its rack or its cluster, and thinking to the fundamental substrate of computing. Where are we putting data centers and how are we setting them up to use energy efficiently and then ultimately respond to demand? So that allows us at Futurum to look at what is the overall demand for AI, and not just what are the number of data centers that we can build today.
The price of Nvidia's stock has declined this year, and it may get worse in the upcoming weeks after falling to a critical support level. Nvidia dropped 17.65% from its peak in 2025 to a low of $172 on Monday. This year, there are indications that its fundamentals and technicals have clashed. Technical analysis of Nvidia's stock price indicates a sharp decline. The Nvidia stock price has decreased from its all-time high of $212 to the present $175, according to the daily timeframe chart. A closer examination reveals that the stock has developed the dangerous head and shoulders pattern, a typical technical analysis indicator of a bearish reversal. It is currently hovering close to this pattern's neckline. At $182, the stock has already fallen below the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement mark. Additionally, it has fallen below the exponential moving averages, EMA, of 50 and 100 days. As a result, technical analysis indicates that the stock will see a significant bearish collapse in the upcoming days, possibly reaching the $164 Fibonacci retracement line at 38.2%. A decline below that level will indicate further declines below the $150 50% retracement level. Some of the best foundations are found in Nvidia. Despite having some of the greatest fundamentals in the US, Nvidia's stock price projection is still negative. The company's business continued to operate well, according to its most recent figures, which indicated that its sales increased by 72% to $67 billion. This kind of income increase is uncommon for a business that was founded 33 years ago. Above all, there is greater space for the business to expand. Jensen Huang stated in a recent speech that the company's Vera Rubin and Blackwell chips will help it generate over $1 trillion in revenue by 2027. According to a different Reuters article, Amazon intended to order 1 million processors for its data centers. Given that Amazon currently produces its own chips, this is crucial. Because of this, the management feels that Nvidia's processors are superior to its in-house semiconductors. The leading American tech firms, including Microsoft, Google, and Meta Platforms, want to invest more than $650 billion in capital projects this year. Numerous other businesses, like CoreWeave, Nebius, IRN, and Bitfarms, are investing billions of dollars in capital expenditures, the majority of which go toward Nvidia chips. In the meantime, President Donald Trump intends to travel to China in April or May. Improving trade relations between the two parties will be one of the agenda items, and Nvidia might be brought up. Given the continued high demand for its GPUs, the U.S.'s decision to permit the sale of Nvidia processors to China would be significant. Most significantly, Nvidia has emerged as one of Wall Street's most undervalued businesses. The business trades at 20x forward earnings, which is less than the average of 23 for the S&P 500 index, according to data gathered by Seeking Alpha. Its forward PEG ratio is now 0.50, which is likewise below the sector median of 1.24. The company's 53% profit margin and more than 60% projected revenue growth make it one of the greatest Rule of 40 indicators. This results in a Rule of 40 multiple of 113%, indicating a mix of high margins and growth. Based on its technicals, the most likely prediction for the price of Nvidia's stock is rather negative. Later this year, when its fundamentals improve, the stock will rise again. I am aware of your likely thoughts. Even more valuable than Apple, Nvidia is the most valuable firm in the world. Why is it necessary for it to become the next Apple? Nvidia just held its yearly GTC conference. Additionally, management spoke extensively about Nvidia's expanding ecosystem, which goes beyond graphics processing units, GPUs, to capture more than one-time hardware purchases and the growth in artificial intelligence, AI, inferencing during that conference. In the same way that Apple created an ecosystem of consumer goods that are now as necessary to many homes as toothpaste and laundry detergent, Nvidia is creating an ecosystem mainly for businesses to generate a steady stream of income in the era of AI inferencing. Join our investor community. Hit subscribe and like to get your daily Nvidia stock insights and tutorials delivered. Here's why Nvidia's investment thesis could be balanced by this changing business strategy, which could be a game changer for investors. As important hyperscaler clients construct data centers that depend on Nvidia GPUs, Nvidia's earnings growth has skyrocketed in recent years. Other industries like professional visualization, gaming, automotive, and robotics hardly make an impact due to the size of the data center industry. The data center segment accounted for slightly less than 90% of overall revenue in fiscal 2026. And in order to sustain its rapid growth rate, Nvidia is under pressure to keep selling GPUs to hyperscalers. A portion of the issue is already resolved by Nvidia's most recent architecture, Rubin. For data center applications, it consists of 6 chips that cooperate to increase efficiency at rack size. A lot of Rubin's innovations have more to do with AI inference than training. Consider the AI model as the knowledge base that AI tools and agents use to perform tasks in the actual world. Large amounts of computing power are needed for inference when using AI models. For Nvidia, the tokenization of inferencing generates a steady stream of income. Hyperscalers are supposed to bill clients according to the quantity of AI inference tokens utilized. The demand for tokens will increase as AI is used for generative AI, AI agents, and physical AI. Hyperscalers will find Nvidia's hardware and software appealing because they are designed to process tokens more quickly. Nvidia's overall goal is to create an ecosystem that consists of its specially designed AI processors, networking hardware, and inferencing software that will scale in lockstep with token demand because inference and physical AI will require a lot more tokens than simple chat-based generative AI. Nvidia's strategy for leveraging recurring revenue from inferencing is similar to Apple's. The iPhone is the center of an ecosystem of complementary Apple devices, including the Mac, iPad, Apple Watch, AirPods, and more. This is comparable to Nvidia expanding its GPU business through Extreme Codesign to generate income from networking, storage, and AI data center computation. Apple offers services that can be integrated and utilized by such products, such as Apple Music, Apple TV, Apple Card, etc., in addition to services that directly support those products, such as iCloud. The similar business model would apply to Nvidia's ongoing revenue stream from AI inference tokens. Apple has developed into a steady, high-margin, moderately growing business that produces a significant amount of free cash flow, FCF, for dividend increases and stock repurchases. In a similar vein, Nvidia plans to use 50% of its free cash flow for dividends and buybacks this year. Although Nvidia currently only pays a 0.1 mon quarterly dividend, I could imagine company announcing a significant dividend hike followed by modest annual increases, much like Apple has done for the past 14 years. Why Nvidia is a fantastic purchase right now. For Nvidia, a possible slowdown in growth seems like terrible news. In actuality, though, it can simply signal the next phase of the business's development. An inferencing as a service revenue stream might help Nvidia lessen its reliance on data center hardware, which would increase the stock's attractiveness to well-rounded investors who enjoy a little passive income added to their long-term holdings. Given that Apple is valued at 29.3 times forward profits and Nvidia is only valued at 21.9, it is clear that some investors place a larger value on steady earnings growth and balance than on the possibility of hypergrowth. All things considered, Nvidia's development of a recurring revenue stream is an excellent strategy to lessen the discomfort of a future decline in hyperscale capital expenditures, which makes the stock's investment thesis even more alluring to long-term investors. Nvidia's first few months have been somewhat interesting, but the stock, which is still stabilizing around the 175-190 region, hasn't had as much. Without a sure, nothing less than a significant breakthrough could push Nvidia's shares out of its sidelines channel. Behind the scenes, the business has undoubtedly developed a number of groundbreaking inventions. The GTC conference this year was jam-packed with exciting announcements and demonstrations. However, it's now difficult to predict when the stock may experience a long-term positive response as opposed to a modest one. Naturally, as the AI revolution develops and common customers see AI to be more than just a large language model, LLM, the GPU titan continues to be in the proper place. In my opinion, mega-cap technology as a whole has essentially gone to slumber. Furthermore, unless the group awakens, even significant positive changes could not have much of an impact. It's difficult to predict when they will emerge from hibernation at this time. A year-long sleeper is definitely possible. A longer one, a harsh correction, or the explosion of the AI bubble might potentially be in store for the bears. In my opinion, mega-cap tech and AI have already had a significant correction. Additionally, I believe there may be a chance to receive significant beneficial developments for free, as investors tend to respond mildly to them. In any event, it's difficult to predict how a new piece of technology will affect the bottom line and if it will transform the world or not. Essentially, it's a means of controlling a bubble before it has a chance to become frothy. Who can blame analysts and investors for focusing their magnifying glasses on the bottom line every quarter following the spike in capital expenditures? However, there's a potential that investors will overlook the story of steadily growing growth, which may support a considerably larger multiple than is currently being paid. Of course, there's risk on both sides right now when it comes to the leading AI stocks, like Nvidia. In my opinion, there are indications that AI is either in or out of a bubble, so it may not be long before the stock goes through its next leg, whether it be higher or down. In my opinion, the company's growth narrative has become much more impressive than it was in August 2025, just before Nvidia stock entered a sideways channel thanks to the big $1 trillion Blackwell and Rubin backlog announcement and a number of other intriguing moves. The trailing price-to-earnings, PE ratio, has decreased below 22.0 times over this time. Either Nvidia stock is a generational value, or it's about to hit a bit of a cliff, maybe a little later than many are currently predicting. Maybe it makes the most sense to stick with Jensen Huang if you believe in him. When it comes to his opinions on the direction of technology, the man hasn't held back. The integration of Grok's remarkable LPU, language processing unit technology, into the upcoming Vera Rubin platform was perhaps the most interesting lesson learned. To put it briefly, the Grok acquisition is more than just a roundabout way to hedge one's bets. In my opinion, the action is enabling it to expand its moat, or, to put it another way, add alligators to it. In any case, as inference hits a turning point, Nvidia appears to be at the forefront. And, in my opinion, that should make investors more optimistic about the stock, especially when the market seems to be ignoring it. Nvidia demonstrated its seriousness about seizing the agentic AI opportunity by the claw with its intriguing Nemo Claw stack, in addition to providing information on integrating Grok. In fact, it would be intriguing to observe how markets react to the GTC developments in the upcoming months. In any case, I think investors are prepared to wait until the IT industry's selling pressure subsides. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.